Is Facebook bad? Is YouTube bad? Yeah, I would say so. After spending so many years on Facebook, about pages, groups, contacted people from the other side of the world, but it got to a bit where I had to be on Facebook just about every moment of the day to find out what other people were saying, to put my whole life on Facebook for everyone to see, to put my life, my videos, my pictures, basically tell everyone what I'm doing, share it. Of course then you've got the work companies that employ you, they really don't want you on Facebook. They don't want you saying anything or acting out, so it's kind of like a control thing as well. And then when you leave Facebook, you find out by googling it that they also try to, keep a hold of your details and stuff and where you are. It's like Google is constantly asking you what is your location. Share your location with the world. And what I've been hearing from sources out there, people that are somehow in the know, people make sort of things like YouTube or Facebook very addictive. They give it purpose for you to go online and share or talk, but they keep all that information. They make it addictive, so you would spend time on there. And who prospers? Companies, of course. Companies that want to sell you stuff. I mean, I constantly had people contacting my page and asking to buy it, and then some people asking if they could rent it in order to advertise their product that had nothing to do with my page, so it would be on their faces. And I bought a t-shirt online, and it was released the Snyder Cut. I'm constantly on my phone now. No matter where I go on my phone, online or something, I see the same t-shirt. But now why would I want to buy another t-shirt if it's the same one? But that goes to show me that's so far that's all they know of me since I've left so-called Facebook. But somewhere along the line, people keep tabs on what you buy. So again, I talked to a couple of kids. I overheard them, so I got into the conversation about how addictive it is. I walk on subways and bus stops, and they agree. You see people on their phones tuned in. It almost is like a futuristic film where everybody's just a drone. Their consciousness is on the phone, even though they've got their best friend or their loved one beside them. They'd rather do what I'm doing just now, talking into a phone. And a lot of people, and I hate this saying, you've got to move with the times, and to be honest, I firmly believe that the past is where we should be heading. The past was a lot better. There was a lot more communication. I remember growing up, and the close, or tenement, or flat, whatever you call it, a building with so many different houses in it, right? There used to be open doors. At New Year, you'd all go into your neighbour's house and talk and have a party at New Year and stuff, and you'd be more welcomed. But the more I got older, the less doors were open, more secretive. So yeah, I mean, these websites, these Facebooks, YouTubes and everything else, and even the streaming services, take a note of what you want. And it's all about, For me, it's like either keeping you indoors or finding what you're doing 24/7. I was watching a program called Hunted with the CIA or the Central Intelligence Agency or whatever from was it MI5, and it was a British one, so these people go on the run, and if they manage to stay out of the clutches of the hunters for so long, they win money. And how do you think they track them? They track them with their phone, they track them with Facebook and stuff like that, and they look into Facebook, they get right into Facebook, into your private accounts, into stuff that you had somehow secured, and they'll look at everything and everyone that you've spoken to. No, of course, this only applies to people that the police are after. But what's to stop anybody from doing the exact same thing? So yeah, I would like to go back to the old times where people were less addictive to apps on their phones. People spent time talking. I mean, I must admit, after leaving my page and my profile, I do miss it. But then I think about the addictiveness to it, and maybe the reason why I'm missing it is, I could have carried it on. Yeah, that would be another more 8 or so years of making posts and talking to people I'll never ever see in my lifetime, and then being worried about what I've said or who I've upset. And it changes you. It does change you. And I mean, as I say, I'm not saying that. And if there is, and as I say, Facebook and YouTube are banning freedom of speech. They don't like freedom of speech. The only thing that they're allowing is whoever's in charge of that company, the internet, or the app that you yes, there's people in charge of the internet, Google and stuff like that, okay? And they will say what they'll ban content that they deem doesn't fit into their objective. Take COVID-19 for instance. If somebody's got a different opinion, it gets closed down. And so it's so easy for people to be brainwashed, to be fed lies. So let's say, where do we go from here? We close down our accounts and we start going out of that front door and living lives. Well, that's me for another video. Thanks for listening.